Most golfers think that their slice, hook, or inconsistent contact is caused by their swing path. But honestly, for a huge percentage of golfers, the real problem is right here with your right hand. And the crazy part is you can make a perfect swing and still hit terrible shots if your right hand is in the wrong position. So in this video, I'm going to show you a very simple right hand grip fix that can completely change how the club face behaves. So you can hit straighter, more compressed, and more consistent golf shots without rebuilding your entire swing. So let's dig in. The grip is actually one of the most important pieces of the golf swing, so you definitely don't want to miss what I'm about to share. If you don't have a proper grip, you're likely going to struggle with accuracy, with consistency, and even proper club rotation. What I'm about to share are tips that can be used with any of your clubs and with the majority of your shots. So stick with me and let's get right into the content. And if this is your first video, my name is Mario. I'm a scratch golfer and I give you tips, strategies, and techniques on how to improve your golf game. So I think it's important to understand why we're doing this in the first place. You need to understand natural tendencies of your arm rotation to understand how to grip the club properly. You might be asking, like, what do you mean? Well, let me explain. Well, depending on the starting position of your arms and your hands at address, your results can vary greatly. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna imagine that you're gripping the club. This is what I see a lot of golfers doing, which means you have somewhat of a strong grip where your right hand is too far on the right side of your club. This isn't a bad grip, but it's just not ideal for a straight shot. Now, let's bring the club back as if we're taking the club away. Now, when I stop the video, notice how the natural tendency of the hand, specifically the top of the hand, is to curl upwards as the arm goes back. Well, when that curl happens, the club face is actually closing on the way back. And when the club face closes, now you're more likely to hit a draw or a hook. You can make the best takeaway of your life, one that you think is perfectly on path and in line and in rhythm with how you want to swing. But the truth is that the laws of physics are kind of working against you at this point. And on the flip side of that, now let's take a look at what happens when your hand is too far over on the top of your club as you start your swing. This would mean that you have a weak grip. So let's bring your hand back along the takeaway and notice how the tendency of the hand in this position is for the bottom of the wrist to expose itself. The bottom of the wrist curls under and up. Well, now the club face is open on the way back. And now your tendency is likely going to be to come through impact with an open face, and you're likely going to either slice or fade the ball. So with these two back swings, I essentially made the same motion backwards, but I found myself in two very different positions. Look at how different these positions are when I compare the two. And all of it is really a direct result of how I started gripping the club from the address position. So here's what I would suggest you do for more consistency. Focus on ensuring that the creases that your thumb and your index fingers make are pointed towards the center of your chest. If they're pointed towards your right shoulder, that works too. Just make sure that they're not pointed outside of your right shoulder. In this position, you won't be too weak or too strong, and it'll allow for a proper club rotation on the way back. One other thing you might want to avoid is gripping the club too much in the palm of your hands, like I have on the screen. That takes away from the ability to manipulate and maneuver the club easily on the way back. I would also focus on making sure that you do the interlock grip. There's a couple of different grip techniques out there, like the interlock and the overlap grip. I've always personally been a big fan of the interlock grip because I think it just gives you a more granular level of control compared to the overlap grip. And lastly, I would suggest that you grab my free PDF that I've attached for you here. It's a 10-step guide called Grip It Like a Pro, and it has step-by-step instructions along with pictures that you can reference at each step along the way on how to grip the club properly with the interlock grip for more consistent results. What I've shared today is really just the first step of many, and there's a lot more to learn and explore around the grip. So now that you know this simple technique, you might be wondering, what do I do with my left hand on the club? Well, I've actually created a video on that exact topic that I'll queue up for you here next. If you like this type of instructional content, let me know your thoughts and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.